Well, good evening. Thank you for just spending a few minutes tonight with me as we look at some scripture. Um, and actually, just tonight, thinking about some questions. So, I want to start off with a question for you. And the question is: do we have the right perspective of what life is while we're living it? So, let's see if you recognize some of these sayings. Life is short, enjoy it. You only live once. The purpose of life is to be happy or love the life that you're living. These are relatively common sayings, and perhaps you've even said them. I'm sure I've said a couple of these at some point in my life. Um, and from these sayings, the face of it, people understand that life on earth in our bodily form right now is fleeting. It's temporal. It's just temporary. It ends for all of us. But for some reason, most people kind of end their thoughts at that point. We don't we don't think further about it. We don't think about what happens when we die. And I don't know if that's because it scares us. That's because we're trying to ignore it and focus on just what's right in front of us. I'm not sure. I'm sure there's a variety of reasons that a lot of people don't think any further than that. Um, a lot of times we just focus on the time that we have here and we focus on what makes us happy right in this moment or what's going to make us happy in the next hour or the next day or whatever it would be. We focus on things, perhaps experiences, adventures, and we hope that that fulfills us or we think that it will fulfill us. And Jesus spoke to this idea in Matthew 16. So I'm going to read this to you. It's Matthew 16:23. It says, "For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and forfeits his soul?" We know that we're all going to die. Life is indeed fleeting. Yet there's part of us that is not going to die, and that's our soul. And we all have souls, something that is separate from our bodies, something that can't be quantified or measured, but we have it, each one of us. It's our soul. And souls are eternal. And Jesus was speaking about this point in this piece of scripture. If we had, I want you to think about it, if you had everything you could possibly want, you could do and have everything that you could possibly dream of on earth, would you be satisfied? Would you be happy? I could say temporarily, I would be happy. But the reality is, there's questions that go beyond that. Once you had all those things that you dreamt of, all those experiences and adventures and things, would you just stop looking? Or would you continue to look for something else that was going to make you happy? My guess is you would want something else. You would want more things or more experiences, different ones, whatever it would be. And that's the reality of it. I mean, that question is a loaded question. If you could have everything you possibly want, would you be satisfied? Well, for most of us, we've gotten a lot of the things that we wanted in life, or we're striving to get some other things in life, and we'll probably get them. But does it end? Like as a 6-year-old, I had dreams about different things I wanted to do. Well, I essentially got to do all those things at some point or time, or I've gotten to have those things, but I still want more. at least in the temporal world that we're living in. And that's the point that Jesus is getting to. Our souls are eternal. The things of this world are not. Our souls do not end when we die, and that's what Jesus is speaking to. When our hearts are only set on things of this world, when we are only focused on our wants or our desires, in reality, as Jesus was talking about, we're giving up something much, much more precious. We're giving up a relationship with God. Unless we're seeking God in a relationship with Him, we are missing out on the point of life. And the point of life on this earth is to understand who God is and who we are and how we relate to Him and how Jesus came down to save us. I mean, what good will 100 years of distraction do compared to an eternity separated from God? Does this say we live 100 years and we get all the things that we want when we die and we're buried? Our souls are going to stand before God, and if we've not chosen Him, we will be separated from Him. So take some time to actually think about that point. Perhaps we all need to reorient ourselves and our thinking beyond the brief amount of time that we have on earth. Because without a relationship with Jesus, we forfeit an eternity to be with God. And just quite simply put, that's much more important than the newest gadget or the next trip of a lifetime we're going to take. For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and forfeits his soul? Take some time to meditate on that verse and understand what Jesus is saying. So thank you for spending just a couple minutes with me tonight. I love you guys. I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great week, and God bless. Bye.